Broadband internet service extended in Jammu and Kashmir, with government institutions and tourist centres allowed access to government and essential service websites. All social media sites remain suspended. Postpaid 2G mobile internet in 5 districts. At the 5th Raisina dialogue, global leaders laud Prime Minister Modi for his progressive policies. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attends the opening session. The 3-day event being attended by top global leaders, including 7 former heads of states. Indian Army leads multiple rescue operations in the higher of reaches of Himalayas as civilians. Heavy snowfall in Himalayan region leads to landslide and avalanches at several places. Over 200 army personnel rescued in Jammu and Kashmir. Army rescues several civilians, including an expecting mother in Kashmir and trekkers in Ladakh. President Ramnath Kovind and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh remember the bravery of the soldiers on Army Day. CDS Bipin Rawat and the 3 service chiefs salute the martyrs at the National War Memorial. Festival of Makar Sankranti, Bihu and Pongal being celebrated all across the country. People take holy dip in the river Ganga. Prime Minister and Vice President greet the people on the occasion. And in the Khelo India Youth Games being held in Guwahati, Haryana gives a hard run to tabletoppers Maharashtra on the last day of athletic events. Good morning. Headlines at 10:30. I'm Anil Thomas. Now for the stories in detail. In a major move of gradually extending access to internet in Jammu and Kashmir, the Home Department of Union Territory has ordered measures to improve accessibility of internet from today. The order asks the internet service providers such as BSNL or private providers to provide broadband facility to all the institutions dealing with essential services, hospital, banks and government offices. The extended internet service will also help access to the tourism industry, particularly hotels, tour and travel establishments. The ISPs must install necessary firewalls and carry out whitelisting of sites to enable access to government websites and websites dealing with essential services like e-banking, etc. Complete restriction on social media and virtual private network applications for the time being due to the security and public order concerns. 2G mobile connectivity on postpaid mobiles for accessing whitelisted sites, including for e-banking, shall be allowed in the 5 districts of Jammu, Samba, Kathua, Udhampur and Riyasi. Divisional Administration Kashmir to additionally establish 400 internet kiosks. However, in the other districts of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, mobile internet connectivity shall remain suspended till further directions after the review of the ground situation. The Home Department of Jammu and Kashmir issued the orders on Tuesday night after Supreme Court directed the review of orders restricting internet service and taking decisions regarding restrictions. Back in the national capital, the 5th edition of the Raisina dialogue got underway in the national capital on Tuesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the inaugural session where External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said Indian foreign policy seeks to focus on key challenges, broad engagement with many parties and managing, if not leveraging, various conflicts in global context.
The 5th edition of the prestigious Raisina Dialogue, jointly organized by the Ministry of External Affairs and the Observer Research Foundation, started in the capital New Delhi on Tuesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also attended the event and listened carefully to the views of the former heads of 7 countries. It is one of the largest conferences of its kind. Former ministers of 12 countries and representatives of the European Union are attending this 3-day conference. Addressing the program, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said that the Raisina Dialogue mainly has 3 characteristics that bring together all stakeholders along with the exchange of ideas.
The Raisina Dialogue has 3 characteristics. 1, while focused on change, disruptions and rebalancing underway in the world, it covers a very broad spectrum of subjects and debates. Most important, it is truly contemporary. 2, its participants are equally diverse, They range from policymakers and executors to thinkers and activists. The diversity addresses all yardsticks, whether of geography, demography, ideology, gender, or interest. 3, this platform brings together representatives and individuals who you may not commonly find at the same location at the same time. The exchange of perspectives that this allows could possibly grow into something more with the passage of time.
On the first day, former Prime Minister of Canada Stephen Harper, former Prime Minister of Bhutan Tshering Tobgay, former President of Afghanistan Hamid Karzai, former Prime Minister of Denmark and former President of South Korea addressed and spoke to the 7 heads of state.
That Afghanistan is perhaps closer to India in lots of ways, and it's the right place for me to thank Honorable Prime Minister of India for all the support given to the Afghan people and for continuing to hold us in very close, dear terms.
The developed world must step forward. We need champions. When you talk of climate change, it is this is a tragedy of commons in a truly global scale. And to solve such a problem, you need global champions. And champions must come from all countries, India included, but especially the developed world.
The 30 think tanks of the world will also present their views in different sessions of this 3-day conference. During the program, the world will present its views on the challenges related to globalization, the agenda of 2030, the role of technology in the modern world, climate change and counter-terrorism.
We are actually going through a very difficult time at this.
Taking part in the Raisina dialogue, former NATO Secretary General Andreas Rasmussen said he would like to see a global alliance of democracies to stand up to oppressive rulers and regimes, and India could play a vital role in such a coalition.
We have spoken about hard security here. I think soft security is as important. And in that respect, I would like to see the development of a global alliance of democracies to raise their voice against the advancing autocracies. And in that respect, I would like to see India as a very strong component of such a global alliance of democracies. And I appreciate very much the leadership of Prime Minister Modi in that respect, and I hope we could engage India much more internationally in the coming years.
Well, former South Korean Prime Minister appreciated India's leadership.
We are actually going through a very difficult time. At this very difficult time, the role of leaders are very important. In that respect, and all leaders, particularly Prime Minister Modi's role is very important in reversing the current trend that make our life difficult in the future.
Former Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper lauded Prime Minister Modi for bringing in reforms that will benefit people in the long run. He said that India will be a country that is self-defined.
You know, increasingly diverse and multipolar world will be that there aren't simple answers to that. But a big part of the answer in the future will be a role played by India. And, you know, if I can pay tribute to Prime Minister Modi here, I think it will be the kind of India that Prime Minister Modi's vision is creating. That's, you know, I'm not just talking about obviously energetic domestic reforms, but very much a country that's self-defined, aspires to be a cooperative global partner, but will be very much Indian. India is not going to be a Western, it's not going to be a bastion of Western liberalism, although it's a democracy. India was never going to be just another non-aligned post-colonial state. India has its own identity, own nationalism, for lack of a better term. And I think to the extent that under the current government, that identity is coming to the fore with big power, but I think globalist aspirations, I think is going to be a big part of the solution, and certainly a big part of the solution for those like Anders and myself, who care deeply about the future of democratic society as opposed to the alternatives that we face in the world of the future.
Former Swedish Prime Minister Carl Bildt hailed India's economic and social growth.
India plays a rather crucial role. That has been said in other contexts before, but I would say it's even more important in this particular one. I mean, you've been doing great lately, I think. I've been impressed by sort of the way in which you digitalize society and economy and affordability and availability and all of these things. That's great. And particularly the fact that you are, will remain, or even more remain, the world's greatest democracy.
Aam Aadmi Party on Tuesday declared all 70 candidates for the forthcoming Delhi Assembly elections. 46 sitting MLAs of the party have been given tickets. The party has replaced 15 sitting MLAs, while 9 seats that were vacant have been given to new candidates. 8 of the AAP candidates are women compared to 6 during the last elections. Chief Minister and party convener Arvind Kejriwal will contest from the New Delhi Assembly seat, while his deputy Manish Sisodia from the Patparganj Assembly seat.
सभी 70 की 70 सीटों के लिए उम्मीदवारों की लिस्ट अप्रूव कर दी है पॉलिटिकल अफेयर कमेटी ने। इसमें 46 कैंडिडेट्स जो अभी सिटिंग एमएलएस हैं वो हैं, 9 पहले से खाली सीट्स थीं उस पे नए कैंडिडेट्स हैं, और 15 सिटिंग एमएलएस की रिप्लेस किया गया है। इस बार 8 महिलाओं को टिकट दिया गया है।
The process for filing nomination papers has begun for the upcoming Delhi Assembly elections with the issuance of notification. Candidates can file their nominations till the 21st of this month. Scrutiny will take place the next day. The last day of withdrawal for nominations withdrawal of papers is the 24th of January. Polling for the 70-member Delhi Assembly will be held on the 8th of next month, and the counting of votes will take place on the 11th of Feb. A total of 5 nominations were filed on Tuesday in 3 assembly constituencies of Delhi. In Ladakh, multiple search and rescue columns of the Fire and Fury Corps were launched to rescue a group of tourists who were stranded due to bad weather while undertaking the annual Chadar trek on the frozen Zanskar River. Responding swiftly to the request received from the administration, columns were launched from 2 directions to reach the tourists who were stuck at Nirak village along the Zanskar River. Helicopters of the Army Aviation were also pressed into service for the purpose. 6 seriously ill tourists suffering from effects of frostbite and high-altitude pulmonary edema were evacuated by helicopters to the Army Medical Facility in Leh. Meanwhile, an expecting mother who needed an emergency hospitalization was helped by over 100 army persons, and 30 civilians walked with her for 4 hours on a stretcher through heavy snow. Both mother and the newborn baby are doing fine. General Bipin Rawat, the Chief of Defence Staff, along with the chiefs of all 3 forces today paid tributes to the martyrs. On the occasion of Army Day, the 4 chiefs laid wreath in Delhi's War Memorial. Army Day is celebrated on the 15th of January every year, marking the occasion in recognition of Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa's taking over as the first Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army from General Sir Francis Butcher, the last British Commander-in-Chief of India, on the 15th of January 1949. The day is celebrated in the form of parades and other military shows in the national capital New Delhi, as well as in all headquarters. Army Day marks a day to salute the valiant soldiers who sacrificed their lives to protect the country and its citizens. An impressive parade was held at the National War Memorial. President Ramnath Kovind extended greetings on the Army Day. Greetings to the valiant men and women of the Indian Army, to veterans and to their families. You are our nation's pride, our liberty. Your immense sacrifice has secured our sovereignty, brought glory to our nation and protected our people. Jai Hind. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh greeted the Indian Army personnel on the occasion of Army Day. He tweeted to recall and recognize the valour and the sacrifice of the Indian Army soldiers. Today, nation celebrates Makar Sankranti, Pongal and Bihu festival. Devotees thronged the Padmanabhan temple in Kerala to celebrate Pongal. In Pragraj and Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh, despite severe cold wave and cloudy conditions, devotees started taking dip at the holy river Ganga on the occasion of Makar Sankranti. In Assam, the festival is celebrated as Bihu. It also marks the end of the farming season, and farmers sing and dance celebrating the festival. President Ramnath Kovind also wished the people. In a tweet, he said, and I quote, "As the sun enters Capricorn and the weather begins to change, the harvesting season begins in many parts of the country. Greetings and good wishes to fellow citizens as we celebrate Makar Sankranti, Bogali Bihu, Pongal, Uttarayan and Paus. The festival season is commemorated in diverse yet similar ways all over India. It is a moment to acknowledge the hard work and perseverance of all people, especially our farmers. May it herald togetherness, prosperity and good fortune across the country." Wishing people today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared some beautiful pictures on the occasion of Uttarayan Fest, in which the sky can be seen decked up with kites. Mandatory implementation of FASTags has begun from today. The National Highway Authority of India, or the NHAI, has clarified that passengers with a valid functional FASTag should be allowed to travel toll-free in case the FASTag is not properly read at toll plazas. The central government is also rolling out the option of cash recharge for FASTags to accelerate its speedy adoption. However, there will only be one cash lane available at the toll plazas for non-FASTag holders. For those still not having FASTags, will have to queue up at one gate. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos landed in India on Tuesday and will attend the two-day summit for small and medium businesses scheduled to be held in New Delhi. After reaching the capital Delhi, he paid his respects to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. Amazon is taking efforts to bring the small and medium businesses on its platform to provide them large market and emerge profitable. In this sense, his visit becomes important for small-scale entrepreneurs. Moving to international stories, the Syrian army said Israeli jets attacked the main T4 airbase in Homs province and that its air defense downed several missiles in strikes that caused only material damage. An army spokesman told state media that 4 Israeli missiles did reach the base, but said air defenses intercepted several others that were brought down. State television earlier did not say who was behind the attack on a major air base. Israel has repeatedly bombed Iranian-backed militia targets in Syria, saying its goal was to end Tehran's military presence in the war-torn country. The T4 air base, which Western intelligence sources say has been used as a base for Iran's Revolutionary Guards, was struck several times by Israel in recent years. Trade truce between the United States and China is all set to be signed today. The joint statement from the Treasury and the U.S. Trade Representative's Office said there is no agreement for future reduction in tariffs. Any rumor to the contrary are categorically false. After nearly 2 years of conflict and the exchange of punishing tariffs, they have had a negative impact on business investments and global economic growth. U.S. President Donald Trump last month announced a Phase 1 trade deal with Beijing. As part of the deal, Trump agreed to cancel a new tranche of painful import duties on consumer goods that were scheduled to be hit on December 15th. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro addressed the pro-government Constituent Assembly for his annual State of the Nation speech and said elections for the members of the opposition-led National Assembly were inevitable in 2020. Maduro also announced that 4.5 million barrels of petroleum would be sold in Venezuela's cryptocurrency and criticized opposition leader Juan Guaido's participation in a Catholic procession in the state of Lara. On Monday, the United States imposed sanctions on 7 Venezuelan politicians, it said, led a bid by Maduro to wrest control of the country's Congress from Guaido. On to sports, on day 5 of the Khelo India Youth Games, it was the last day of athletic events. The day saw Maharashtra and Haryana at loggerheads over the top position in the points table. It also saw some of the talented youngsters showcasing their skills in front of the world. Let's take a look at the players who set the stage on fire on day 5 with their skills at Khelo India.
Athletics action was in full swing on day 5 of the Khelo India Youth Games. In under-17 boys category, Uttam Yadav from Uttar Pradesh won the gold in the 1500-meter race. Uttam finished the race in 3 meter 56 seconds. Arjun from Madhya Pradesh finished with the silver. In under-21 category of 1500-meter race for girls, Uttarakhand's Ankita emerges victorious. She won the 1500-meter race in 4 minutes 22.19 seconds to claim the gold. Delhi's Chanda settled for silver, while the bronze went to Gauri from Uttarakhand. In the under-17 boys 200-meter race, the gold went to Vijay Kashyap from Uttar Pradesh. Vijay won the race in 22.26 seconds. Assam's Akshay Boro settled for silver, while Sadanand Kumar got the bronze. In the under-17 girls 200-meter race, the gold went to Tamil Nadu's Jeevanji Deepthi, who finished the race in 24.84 seconds. The silver in the category went to Payal Vora from Delhi, while Sudeshna Hanmant from Maharashtra got the bronze. In under-21 category for boys 200-meter race, Karnataka's Abhin Bhaskar clinched the gold with a timing of 21.33 seconds. Abhinav Panwar from Delhi and Prasad Kailash from Maharashtra won the silver and bronze respectively. The under-21 200-meter girls category saw Maharashtra's Kirti Vijay bag the top spot with a timing of 24.99 seconds. West Bengal's Rajeshri Prasad won the silver, while Tamil Nadu's Roshni won the bronze. In rhythmic gymnastics under-21 competition, Maharashtra's Aditi Thandekar stamped her authority and bagged the gold. With Mukesh Shukla, Narayan Singh's report, DD News, Guwahati.
Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of news. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
A quick look at the day's top news. 100 big stories from across the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Watch Express News Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. only on DD India.